The story that I'm about to discuss on the program today is one that will leave you in shock and in total disbelief. A British woman has been convicted of killing her 5-year-old stepdaughter nearly 5 decades ago after the child death was ruled as an accident. Hi again and welcome. This is Links 007 TV. Let's talk, and we're about to discuss this on the program. If it's the first time you're watching, please remember to like, share, subscribe to our channel. Click that notification bell and click on all so you're always updated with our latest report. We'll be right back after this short break.
Hi, Janice. I don't know whether you recognise me. DC Fran Homer. We met a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
Yes. I'm going to speak to you privately, but at the moment I need your passport and your phone, please.
That's not fun.
Thank you very much.
Welcome back and thanks for joining us. This is Links 007 TV. Let's talk. This is the place where we discuss issues of national importance, global importance, or the situation that are buzzing in the news. So this story that I'm about to talk about right now is one that made international headlines around the world, and one that has left many people in shock and in total disbelief. So a stepmother who once wrote a book to help young women turn their life around after prison has been convicted of killing her 5-year-old stepdaughter, who was forced into a bath of hot water almost 50 years ago. Before we get into the actual details of the case, I want to share the moment when she was taken into custody by authorities. Let's go over to that clip now. So this is the clip of Janice Nix, 67 years old, taken into custody by authorities.
Hi, Janice. I don't know whether you recognise me. DC Fran Homer. We met a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
Yes. I'm going to speak to you privately, but at the moment I need your passport and your phone, please.
That's not fun.
Thank you very much. I'm not going to do anything with them, it's just so you can't make any calls, that's all it is. Passport, thank you very much. Look, it's just one passport.
Yeah, I've got my Antigua passport.
Could I have that as well then, please? Thank you very much. Cheers. That's great. If you just grab your stuff.
Yeah.
Yep. Everything. I don't think you've got anything up above.
No.
You sure? I just want you to leave anything here. Just make sure you've got absolutely everything. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Absolutely certain you've got everything?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Let's go.
You're under arrest, okay, for the manslaughter of Andrea Bernard on the 13th of July 1978. You're also under arrest for the assault and ill treatment of Desmond Bernard between the 1st of October 1975 and the 6th of June 1978. Okay, you do not have to say anything, but it may harm your defence if you do not mention or when questioned something which you later rely in court. Anything you do say may be given in evidence. All right. Your arrest is necessary to prevent your disappearance and hinder any prosecution. All right?
Janice Nix, age 67, had a wrought of cycle of violence against children Andrea Bernard, seen in the photograph and screen, and her brother Desmond Bernard. Janice Nix, now seen on screen, was 19 years old at the time when it is said that she forced the 5-year-old child into a bath of hot water in Taunton Heath, South London in June 1978. She died in a specialist burned unit 5 weeks later. Little did she knew that the lies and deception that had authorities puzzled for 50 years would one day came back to haunt her, and so it did. Andrea's death was treated as an accident based on what authorities were told actually transpired on the day in question. Andrea's death was treated as an accident until her older brother went to the police in the year 2022 with a new account of what happened. This led authorities to reopen the case and place Janice Nix under arrest. Andrea Bernard was just 5 years old when she died. She had her life ahead of her and her life cut short by her stepmother. Mr. Bernard, now 56, the brother of Andrea Bernard, tearfully told jurors that he had initially described his sister's death as an accident because he wanted Janice Nix to stop beating him. During court proceedings, it was very evident that Janice Nix, 19 at the time, was very cruel towards the children, who both were very fearful of her. Nix of Clapton, South London, shook her head weeping in the dock, as she was also convicted of cruelty to Mr. Bernard between October 1975 and June 1978 when he was 7 to 9 years old. Nix lived behind this dark secret for decades, in which time she even published a book titled Breaking Out, which was aimed at helping other women turn their lives around after being involved in crime. Janice Nix was no saint on the street, and she was also a convicted drug dealer and had many other run-ins with the law. In a 2021 interview with iPaper, Nix, who served an 8-year sentence for drug-related charges, said that if you want to change it bad enough, then you have to open the difficult doors you have closed. I closed many doors in my life to abuse to belonging, and I feel I can empower women with my perspective and my journey, she further added. She also said she wanted to find alternatives to sending women to prison who were convicted of shoplifting to feed their children. But jurors sitting in the trial heard that Nix regularly beat the children even for not folding their clothes to her standards. The court heard on June 6, 1978, Nix was furious after Andrea ignored instructions not to leave the house and to help clean instead. Nix shouted at Andrea in an extremely loud voice before beating her, the court heard. While giving evidence, Mr. Bernard said that he later heard the bath running. He went on, I could hear Janice shouting, get in the bath, and I could hear Andrea saying, the bath is too hot, mommy. I could hear Janice shouting, get in the bath, and then I heard screaming and splashing. I then heard the screaming stop, and I could hear Janice calling, Andrea, wake up, wake up. Mr. Bernard said that he entered the bathroom and saw Nix holding Andrea, who was so limp and wrapped in a towel, and added that he saw the skin falling off her. He also told jurors that he lived in constant fear of Nix beating and did not tell anyone because he feared being punished more. Andrea passed away nearly 6 weeks after arriving at hospital with burns to 50% of her body, the court heard. The defendant further told the court that she did not realize that the bath water was so hot. All that she realized that she was in distress, her legs were red and had bubbles on them. The UK-born woman of Antiguan heritage was found guilty of manslaughter in the death of her 5-year-old stepdaughter nearly 50 years ago. Janice Nix, aged 50. The UK-born woman of Antiguan heritage was found guilty of manslaughter in the death of her 5-year-old stepdaughter nearly 50 years ago. Janice Nix, now aged 67, was convicted at the Isleworth Crown Court over the death of Andrea Bernard, who was badly scalded in a bath of hot water in South London in 1978. Nix was once known as a notorious London drugs dealer before working with ex-offenders and becoming a probation officer. Desmond Bernard, the brother of Andrea Bernard, courage finally helped give Andrea a voice after decades of silence. Nix, who had denied the charges, was arrested at the Heathrow Airport on February 18, 2025 after arriving on a flight from Antigua and was later charged that day. The Crown Prosecution Service said that the decade-old case was difficult to prove because the medical records had been destroyed, and while both the original pathologist and the coroners had died, prosecutors relied on surveilling the coroner's document, witness statement, and expert evidence to reconstruct what happened. Andrea's brother told investigators that he remembered his sister being afraid to return home from school because she had disobeyed the instructions to stay home and clean. A new pathology review found that the injury pattern was inconsistent with an accident and that the water temperature was likely capable of causing burns within seconds. Prosecutors also pointed to conflicting accounts from Janice Nix. In 1978, she told the coroners that she had been in the garden when Andrea went upstairs to bathe alone. More than 40 years later, she told the police that she heard Andrea screaming and found her in the bar trying to get out. The brother of Andrea, Bernard, initially lied to investigators in fear of being punished. The brother of Andrea, Bernard, gave his account. She asked me to say it was an accident and to say that we were in the garden when it happened and that she would never beat me again. I lied. I told everyone that story. Following the jury's verdict, full details of Miss Nix's past, including her time as a drug dealer and her subsequent career, can now be disclosed. During her life of crime, Janice Nix would carry a gun, make drug deals worth tens of thousands of pounds, drive around Brixton, South London in a white leather interior Vitara Jeep with Nasty Girl written in red and a silver line on its side, and once served a 9-year prison sentence. Janice Nix had a relationship with the child's father, also named Desmond Bernard, and was in effect their stepmother. This case might have took decades to solve, but justice is now served. This has been Links 007 TV. Let's talk. Thanks for watching.